My name is Russell Ridgley. I'm Head of Cloud Services for Pulsant. Asigra provides a really simple, consistent user interface for managing the backup systems. As a service provider, it allows us an awful lot of flexibility as to our extent of involvement in those processes as well, from being completely managed by Pulsant to the customer actually having an awful lot of control over those processes. The interface itself lends itself to having an engineer perform those backup and restore processes very quickly. The spur of a moment they can kick off a restoration. Top features for me as someone that's designed services for a service provider have to be the fact that Asigra is designed with service providers in mind. There are an awful lot of products that we've used in the past and looked at as part of refreshing the service, essentially enterprise-grade backup systems designed for a large single tenant rather than a service provider trying to handle, in our case, many hundreds of tenants. The structure of the system in the way that the client end and the system end interact, allowing us to put appliances on customer locations down potentially very small throughput connections, but allowing them to maintain a really nice experience equivalent to a traditional on-premise installation, but without the headaches of running the actual storage systems. And distributing that across completely diverse locations as well. It's a single user experience, a single service that we provide them, where all of their engineers at every single location use the same interface, the same restore and backup technologies, from the same online storage, under the same compliance with the same SLA. It's a really nice consistent service from both an operational point of view and obviously the business side of things. So one of the most important things about any backup service is the recovery side of things, not necessarily running the backups of the data. We had a recent incident with the ransom virus with a customer, a very significant amount of data compromised. The customer obviously needed access to their data from the most recent backups very, very quickly. Asigra really allowed us to do that at very high speed. It was really their infrastructure rather than the backup software holding up the throughput of that restore process. And because the restore process itself is so simple, it allowed us to kick that off very quickly. It ran very quickly and the customer had their data within a matter of hours, vastly exceeding the expectation of the next day, which they'd be used to with their previous service provider. The Asigra interface gives a really simple view of the backups that you've run, the data that's been protected, the time points at which those protection was created. Allows the user to select very quickly, just in a sort of normal wizard style, the data from when they want it, what data they want and where they want to put the restored data. It's a really nice consistent user experience. So Pulsant provides a very broad spectrum of services. We have a stack, if you like, that describes all of our services from very simple data center based services like colocation, through managed networking all the way up to application support on top of managed servers. Asigra really plays into all of those service lines. It gives us a consistent protection technology that we can feed into our co-location customers on more of a self-service basis, where they are provided with online storage but essentially run the backup services themselves, all the way up to the very top of our stack where we are providing customers who consume a specific application directly. We use Asigra from their point of view behind the scenes and just play to the Asigra strength inside our service as opposed to something directly consumed by the customer. For any company that wants to look at backup for their data, Asigra provides a really nicely consistent experience in terms of a more service-orientated backup protection. The performance of the actual restore processes is the highest of any product that we've ever measured. It really is never your backup system that slows down restores or operational functions as well in maintaining the backup protection. It's a single product that ticked every box on our wish list as a service provider.